All right, he gets the assist. Here we go.
Absolute cash.
Alrighty, well, welcome to Hypotheticals. I'm Jez FM, one co-host and the voice of the Coburg Giants here in Victoria. I'm joined by my friend and hot take machine, Tom Nixon. Tom, what is up?
Not a lot, mate. Really excited to be back, and really excited this is a podcast and we're not actually playing basketball, because that was an abysmal shot. For those who are watching, you'll enjoy that. For those who are listening, head on over to the YouTube, because there's some visual delights that you have in store for us, and I'm very excited for today. And where are we going to start, Jez?
Well, I mean, you're just saying that, like, that was obviously a brick that I've just launched. But, and last episode, we really talked about one of the great bricklayers of the NBA.
We did.
Ben Simmons. So we encourage people to go check that out if you want to hear about our thoughts on Ben Simmons. As Australians, we really gave it a lot. But people have seen the title of this podcast, so let's get right into it. Today, we're going to be jumping into our segment, Shots Fired, and we're going to be talking about the worst thing you can say to every NBA franchise. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
Alrighty. This is Shots Fired. This is a segment where we take some pot shots at some NBA teams, sometimes people, sometimes things that are barely even related to the NBA, in all honesty. Yep. Today, we are going to be hitting every single team. So we are going to be hitting this rapid fire. It's a bit of a machine gun of a shots fired, I'd say.
Yep. If you have a favorite team, they're going to get roasted.
Absolutely.
If you have a team that you hate, they're going to get roasted.
So I've taken the Western Conference teams, you've taken the Eastern Conference teams, and I think we just go one for one, all right? Okay. I think we go you first, then me, and we're going to be saying the worst thing you can say to every NBA franchise. So I'm going to get you, Tommy, to kick us off for this episode's Shots Fired. So what do you got for us?
So I'm going to start with the Boston Celtics, and the worst thing you can say to a Boston Celtics fan and or franchise is that no one cares about you. You're not a major market team anymore. And in the future, the ESPN will replace all Celtic discussion with discussion about the Wizards. So that's the worst thing, in my opinion, to be absolutely shafted for some Washington Wizards conversation. So that's my opinion. Celtics, big head, not anymore.
Well, getting dunked on by the Wizards, you know what I do have to say I like about that one, just quickly, is as a Chris Middleton fan, I couldn't imagine anything better.
Oh, to see Middleton drop a 30-piece on the Celtics is just a dream for me. So that's the day I go for the Wizards.
Well, they've charmed you with their magic. That's the Celtics.
Jeez.
All right, let's go over to the Western Conference. And first up, I had the Dallas Mavericks.
Yep.
And for this one, I've said Cooper Flag is a red flag.
Ooh.
Okay. He's too raw. They said their window is the next 2 to 3 years, and Cooper Flag's literally a rookie. His window's in about 7 to 8 years. AD's too hurt. And of course, the Luka trade is the worst mistake in franchise history.
Yep. I would say league history, mate. Let's not keep it to the franchise. Come on now. And moving right along, I have chosen to go a little bit more narrative style with my worst thing you can say to the franchise and or supporters. And in this fictional future, if I was talking to a Brooklyn Nets supporter, I would say the worst thing I could tell you is that due to seasons and seasons of failure, the team is now to be amalgamated into the Knicks organization. You're going to be in future called the Borough Ballers and be based in Staten Island. So...
Oh, you're just statin facts there, Tom, and let's keep it rolling. This one was the Denver Nuggets. I didn't have anything funny really for this one. It's just, unfortunately, something that is kind of true. And Jamal Murray, is he washed?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Worst thing you can say to them, Jamal Murray's washed.
Keeping it clean.
That's it.
Staying in New York for me back on the Eastern Conference, I've got the New York Knicks, obviously, and in their new agreement between the Borough Ballers, there must be now a 50% shot equality between ex-Knicks and Nets players. This results mostly in Cam Thomas and MPJ pulling up deep threes. So that's the worst thing I think a New York Knicks supporter could ever see.
I love that you've created an alternate history where not only do the Brooklyn Nets and the Knicks fuse, but they actually have to have equal airtime, in equal playing time in some ways.
Yep. And everyone wants to see MPJ just pulling up ridiculous shots. They'd make Trae Young shudder. That's what I'm talking about.
That's harsh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my next one's the Golden State Warriors. And this one writes itself, really. The Olden State Warriors. Everyone's 100 years old. Bang. That's the worst thing you can say to a Golden State Warriors fan this season.
So true.
The Olden State Washtrias is the alternative there.
Shout out to Seth Curry though for getting that bag. We saw you. We see him working. We see him getting that money. The actual Splash Brothers. But
wow.
Anyway, back on the Eastern Conference, I've got the Toronto Raptors next, and again, this one sort of writes itself. An absolute joke of a franchise. The worst thing I can say to these franchise and/or supporters is that Scotty Barnes has now retired from basketball. He's become the new Raptor, the man behind the mascot. So enjoy that.
I don't even have a pun for that. You've just blown my mind. He's got the athleticism. Let's see him go for it. All right. The next one, the Houston Rockets. This one, I've just got a headline for you. The Van Vliet yeet shot them in the feet. Season's over before it begun.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough, but it's true.
Yeah.
They call that tough love. All right, I'm in Chicago now, and what's happened here? The new coach is MJ. The worst thing you can say. The worst thing you can say to this fan base is that we're actually paying Josh Giddey what he's worth. So, hey, I'm still fighting that battle.
That's actually a fire take, Tommy. That's not that's actually, we love Josh Giddey on the pod, and
we do.
Josh Giddey, feel free to head over onto Hypotheticals. If you don't feel like you're being respected enough by the Chicago Bulls, there's always a place for you here on Hypotheticals as a third co-host.
We will big you up for 40 minutes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, let's go to another old team, the Los Angeles Clippers. We've had the Lob City Clippers. Get ready for the Sob City Clippers, because this season's going to be rough.
Oh man, I love this team. They've made the Bucks look like spring chickens, and I'm here for it. Back in the East, we're in Cleveland now, and I actually, this has a spirit of truth to it. I actually say this to diehard Cavs supporters, friends of mine, all the time. Last year, I was telling them that you're not making it out of the second round, and I was right. This year, I'm saying you're not making it out of the conference, baby. Let's go.
Are they haves or cav-nots? That's my question. There we go. Here we absolutely rolling. Now, this next one, I actually don't need to say anything because unfortunately one of the players has done the work of making this team look bad by itself. The next team is the Los Angeles Lakers. Yep. And people could be talking about maybe the worst thing you could say to the Los Angeles Lakers is that LeBron's leaving, Luka and LeBron aren't really working, but actually another player who's a new addition has done a lot of the talking for me, and I think we shall go over there right now. So, new recruit DeAndre Ayton. This is exactly what every Lakers fan wants to hear. I'm playing as point guard in NBA 2K. You get tired of setting screens and rolling. I want to have the imagination of shooting the three ball too. So that's straight from their new center, DeAndre Ayton, who's never shot a three in his life.
I'm shooketh. That is... He's written it for us. Did he have a pre-script of this episode before it aired? Because that is jokes.
So anyway, I don't even need to say anything for that one. Just got to let that one roll.
Deary me. Okay, well, we're back in the East. We're in Detroit now, and I feel like the roughest thing you can say to the Detroit Pistons fans is you guys aren't actually the toughest team in the league or even in the East. And by the by, Isaiah Stewart would still lose in a 1v1 versus a 40-year-old LeBron. So...
But you got beef with beef stew.
That's it. I do.
Wow. All right. This one, and I hate to... Some of these, I feel like the honesty is the harshest thing.
Yeah.
And the next one's the Memphis Grizzlies. This isn't even funny. This is just true. Excited for another play-in to first-round exit.
It's a tough L, isn't it? But one we're going to take. And it's tough that even before the season started, we're just calling that. So we'll keep those receipts for about 10 months' time. Look, we're here back at a regular punching bag at the Hypothetical Podcast, and that's the Indiana Pacers. And whilst Tyrese Halliburton is recovering, the worst thing you can say to this fan base is that John Halliburton will be lacing up as the starting point guard. This will only be exaggerated and exacerbated when we get to round one of the playoffs in 2026 and Miles Turner hits the dagger 3 to send the Pacers home. So I'm believing for it.
I'm liking seeing John Halliburton for the Indiana Pacers there. It'd be good to see Giannis have a crack at him, I feel like.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Some actual on-court antics, shall we say.
My next one, just rolling right through, is the Timberwolves. I don't even need to say anything other than 2 words. Rudy Gobert.
It's tough.
I don't even want to go there, but it's Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, tough. Probably the least intimidating defensive player of the year, and I'll take that one to the bank. Thank you very much. We're going to take a softer moment here because we're at the Milwaukee Bucks, and this one, it's a little bit of a shots. It's a own goal, shall we say? Because obviously this is a Bucks podcast at its heart. The roughest thing I can say to myself and to my co-host Jez is that Doc is going in a new direction this year, and our first scoring option and primary ball handler is none other than Kyle Kuzma. I think the worst part about this is that OGs will remember that he actually used to draw up the first 2 to 3 plays of a game for Kuzma multiple times last year, and just result in Kuz just swan diving towards the basket, chucking up the ball and hoping to God above that it would go anywhere near and he'd get the foul, and then tragically he'd rarely get the foul call. Obviously, the worst thing you can, in real life, the worst thing you can say to a Bucks fan is that Giannis has been traded in a Lucas-style sort of trade, but couldn't miss an opportunity to have a pot shot at Kyle. Come on, mate, have a better season, please. I'm begging you, just please.
Let's see if he makes the right decision or if he doesn't choose the right decision. Let's roll into the next one. I kind of feel like this is a hard one to do because the team's so bad. My next one's the New Orleans Pelicans. And I think this one comes off events of yesterday, which is that Zion's best game of the season was against Melbourne United, and he's probably going to rest the rest of the season.
Yeah. Zion's already had the Ben Simmons preseason sort of delivery package, and he's obviously looking absolutely cut like a snake. And he's had a good game, and he's going to be riding on that for the rest of the year. Maybe get the bag. We'll see how it goes. All right. I'm with the Hawks now. And similar to the Pistons, I think the worst thing you can say to the Hawks is that people are way less scared of Trey than you think. By the by, he also only took them to the conference finals because Ben Simmons gave him a personal ticket to it, and that won't ever be repeated. So he's peaked a bit early on that.
I like it. He's peaked a bit when he was a bit young, you could say.
I didn't, but...
All right, here we go. Oklahoma City Thunder. One that people may be saying, what's the worst thing you'd say to the Thunder? But I can tell you what the worst thing to say is that their championship has a massive asterisk. Halliburton's injury. They haven't actually earned a real championship yet.
I mean, there's always a reason to discount a championship. And
Absolutely.
I must say, that Game 7 was, jokes aside, genuinely on the line. And OKC fans will do some revisionist history and say they weren't worried, but let's be honest, they are worried.
In my heart, genuinely believe Indy was going to win if Hallie didn't. He was started off so hot. I was like, this is the person you want shooting hot for your team. But anyway.
All right, I'm with the Hornets. And the worst thing you can say to this franchise is the new coach is MJ. And not only that, he's given LaMelo the green light to just play street ball and pull logo threes. Oh, wait, that already happens.
So with them, they're going to go 6-0 in, Commissioner's Cup games or something.
I'd love to see MJ coach both the Hornets and the Bulls. I just think it'd be incredible.
My next one, let's head into rapid fire for these last couple ones here, Tommy. Let's dive right into it. Well, I've got the Phoenix Suns next. This one is another one of those where the honesty is the harshest burn, and that is this team is what everybody thinks it is.
Yep, they're getting burnt by the sun. Speaking of getting burnt, I'm at the Miami Heat, and I think the worst thing to say is probably something like Jimmy was right. So,
and like a butler, he served that one up to you.
Yep.
Jimmy was your butler. Let's head on to the next one here. Portland Trailblazers. Again, not really a burn here. I've just got to ask the question, what's this team going for? We just got Drew Holiday and Damian Lillard, and we're a team that wants to tank.
I'm in Orlando, famously the least sort of marketable team ever for some reason. And this is actually just facts as well. Banchero is going to do what Dwight and Shaq did. Have a fantastic start of a career at Orlando, then go elsewhere and win a chip there. Tell me I'm wrong.
That is a fire take, Tommy, and that is absolutely true. Yeah. All right. Next one I've got is the Sacramento Kings, and you can lock this one in right now. Not unlike the Memphis Grizzlies, let's lock in a 10th seed and a play-in exit.
And on top of that, the beam's broken. So, I'm going to wrap this one up, mate, and we're going to finish where we started.
I've got two quick ones to run through here. We've got the Spurs, and that is Wemby's only going to play about 30 games a season. We unfortunately know it's true. He's going to be awesome in those 30 games, and then we'll see you in the 9th seed. And finally, we've got the Utah Jazz, and I think for them, they do the same thing every season. It's give us your picks, we're going to tank, and we're going to end up with the 10th seed.
Again, what are you doing? Why are there so many teams where it's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
So Tommy, that was our first ever full NBA rundown of a Shots Fired. Thank you for smashing through that, mate.
That was incredible, and we should do it again. I think we should maybe keep that full NBA going. So maybe stand by. We'll see how the season pans out. Might do it like a mid-season kind of all-star break heat check / Shots Fired.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, well, I did mention to you before that we did have a redacted that's very hypotheticals themed before we started talking. So let's head over to our conspiracy theory in the NBA segment, Redacted. Alrighty, so this is Redacted. This is where I give you an NBA conspiracy theory, and you tell me, Tom, tinfoil hat on or off.
Yeah.
Okay, and this
usually
one...
on.
Usually on. We've had the Luka trade, obviously. We've had a couple of other doozies, but this one, we've had the Kawhi thing, and this one kind of piggybacks a little bit off that, but it comes down to something that I'm just going to lay the case out for you here, Tommy. And again, I think it should be well known that we love everybody involved in this. Okay, so let me start from there. But I just wanted to say, so last time we were chatting, we were talking about the Kawhi scandal, in that he was paid by a different business, sort of as a way to funnel money to him via this separate business from the Clippers to him. So he ends up with more money outside of the salary cap through a third party.
Yep.
And that was a huge scandal. 2 days later, this comes up. And
oh no.
Look, I'm not accusing. I just want to say I'm not accusing anybody of anything. Okay,
for legal reasons.
Yeah, I'm just saying it was and look, Thanasis is an amazing person, and I've just got a Facebook post for those not watching. I'm just going to read it out. This happened a day after the Kawhi scandal. Breaking news: Milwaukee Bucks former superstar, which is a bit harsh, Thanasis Antetokounmpo donates entire $12.9 million bonus plus sponsorships earnings to homeless shelter initiative to help fund 150 units housing with 300 shelter beds. I've seen the effects of homelessness firsthand growing up, and I knew. Now, look, here's the thing. I don't want to take away anything from Thanasis Antetokounmpo, and I'm sure he's an amazing guy, and, you know, his life has been hard, so I know that he's been affected by homelessness. I'm just saying, and again, not to point fingers at anybody, I'm not saying anyone's done anything wrong here. I'm just saying I'm happy he made that decision days after the Kawhi scandal where people were being accused of funding things. And because it makes me think, you know, and again, not to accuse anybody of anything, but say I was a different person, say I was like Wemby's cousin, and someone had funneled me money illegally. Are they going to take money off a homeless shelter is my question in asking for that money back. I don't think so. So anyway, not accusing anyone of anything. I just wanted to do a redacted hat on or off there.
It's tough. I don't know how the optics can look so bad and so good at the same time. I'm going to have to go hat off just out of respect for Thanasti. He's a man of the people. He's always been solid, and I gotta believe in his character and integrity on this one, mate. It is just mere coincidence. Thanasis is by no means... he's not even anywhere near the bigger earners in the NBA. So, you know, this is very low. If it was Giannis, you know, different. If it's Luka, different. If it's Kawhi, oh crap. So I got to have my hat off just out of respect to the man and out of respect to number 34 that's sitting just there. So, but I tell you what, like I said, those optics are looking really good and really bad.
Yeah. Look, here's what I would say. All I would say is I probably would have picked a different day. That's it. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Let it cool off a bit. Let it cool off a bit.
Let's not try and put ourselves in that genre of news story. But anyway, really happy that Thanasis is contributing to the broader Milwaukee public, and I'm glad that people benefit out of this, no matter what's happened. You know.
Well said.
Well, speaking of great people, Tom, actually, since our last podcast, you yourself have been a roving reporter for Hypotheticals. Yes. And speaking of, why am I mentioning Greek people, Tom? Do you want to highlight and elaborate for us what's going on?
Yeah, so there was a local match, basketball game in Melbourne a few weeks ago, which I had the pleasure of attending, between a Panathinaikos and Partizan, which are both local Greek and Serbian teams, respectively. And obviously, cultures were beautifully on display. There's some great halftime entertainment with some traditional dances. And it was just an enjoyable game. There were a few obscure Milwaukee Bucks in attendance. I'm not sure if you're familiar with these teams, but there was some real treats. But look, I won't take.
Hold on, Tommy. Let's. We're a Bucks podcast after all. Let's share a few of the names that you sent to me. So I'm going to pull up. Well, I can remember a few off the top of my head.
Okay.
There was a Sterling Brown sighting, from what I heard.
He was actually cash. There was
a Jabari Parker. Witnessing.
Parker. Yep, there was a Jabari Parker sighting. Those were the only two Bucks, I think.
And with those names mentioned, Tommy, we've got to say obscure Milwaukee Bucks.
It was funny because Sterling Brown was actually cash from 3. Jabari Parker came out, and I messaged you halfway, when he first came out, saying he was absolutely washed. Funny thing is that he actually got a couple of quick baskets and was looking really good, and I ended up realizing that he was just playing at 60% speed. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was funny. I never thought that the first Bucks I'd ever see in real life would be Jabari Parker and Sterling Brown. Goodness me.
Yeah, here we are, mate.
There was a few others, a couple of ex-players that I can't remember. They were that obscure. But look, I managed to catch up afterwards with one of our reporters who was on the scene in attendance with me and had a quick interview, just a little recap of the game that I thought might be of interest to our listeners. And you can catch the interview here. All right, I'm here with foreign correspondent Billy Pasekniks. Mate, it's been a while since you've featured on Hypotheticals, but great to have you calling in from a secure location. Just wanted to check in, mate. How have things been going since you were last on the pod? It's been a few months, has it? Any sporting highlights you want to bring to our mind?
Yeah. Hello, this is Stavro Mavropanis. Billy Pasekniks, he called in sick today, so I had to take the game. Jeremy called me during the week, and he says to me, it's a lot of wind. He says to me, I want you to go down to John Cain Arena, right? And he says, go to the Panathinaikos Partizan game. And I says to him, are you going to pay? And he says, yes, so I go. And I'm here today.
Thanks, mate. And how was the game tonight? How was the atmosphere? How were the vibes?
Listen, the atmosphere, if you've watched European football or European basketball even, you notice the atmosphere in Australia is like, I don't know how you say it in your country, but dead fish. This is not a lot of excitement in the stadium. So there was bits and bobs, as they got towards the end of the game. It was, people started to get G'd up. They probably had one or two, beverages to refresh themselves. But it's scarcity. It's not anything to write home about.
So has this inspired you to attend more EuroLeague games in Australia and in Melbourne, or are you looking to, on the first flight back home?
Matt, as soon as I can get back home. Stavros is going back, okay? Don't know how you guys play basketball here, but Stavros is going back because he ain't watching whatever that was. No, it was actually all right. It wasn't too bad. There were a couple, travels. A couple of times the players stepped out of bounds. You don't know where you are on the pitch, so you step out of bounds. Happens in a professional game of basketball.
It does indeed happen, and it happens in unprofessional games of basketball as well, which I'm very familiar with, and so is Jeremy. Any final remarks, comments, questions, or threats that you'd like to say?
No threats here, man. I tell you what, Billy Pasekniks, he's threatened at the moment because I think I'm going to take his spot. A regular podcaster, Stavros Mavropanis. Spell it like it sounds, okay? I tell you what though, am I going to go to another European basketball game? Probably not. Was it a good time? If you've got a family, yeah, sure. Great family atmosphere. If you want to have fun, probably not.
All right. Well, thank you for that, mate, and hopefully we'll get you to call in again soon. Okay. All right. We'll throw it back to you, Jez. There you go.
And what a good interview. You know, I've liked that we haven't heard from Billy Pasechniks for a long time. We thought that's what we were potentially teeing up, and then you've run into Stavro Mavropanis.
Yeah.
And he's given you a bit of a more orthodox view of the game.
So I thought I'd have, Billy Pasechniks there with me, but I ended up running into a local, and, it was just lovely to get a real sense of the cultural roots of the game, and, someone who's obviously living in Greece and so connected to the community there, just getting a real sense of European basketball and how it differs from the NBA was just a beautiful thing. So, great night. Big ups to the obscure Milwaukee Bucks and also to Panathinaikos and Partizan. Thank you for a lovely evening out.
Beautiful. And I just want to confirm two things. One was at the beginning there was sirens in the background, confirming that had nothing to do with Billy Pasechniks.
There is nothing to report. No charges have been laid. So
it was settled out of court.
It was settled out of court.
Allegedly. And finally, I think that the best way to sum this up is from a quote from the man Stavro himself, which is, if you want to have fun, probably not. Was the direct quote.
There can be a little bit, terse. They can be a little bit sort of reserved sometimes. Yeah. The Greeks are known for that. So, great man, passionate supporter of basketball, though. There was a lot happening on the inside.
That's beautiful. Same with Greeks. We've got a quick Bucks chat. Now, unfortunately, while the chat itself is going to be brief, I have not updated this intro that I bought for upwards of 10K last round. And so last episode, so we're going to have to sit through, and when I say have to, I mean, it's a cinematic masterpiece, but it's just really long for a podcast segment intro. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend people jump over to the YouTube. You can watch it. I was hoping this was sponsored. We've ended up being 10K in the hole. Yeah. Here's our segment, Bucks Chat.
We're not far from BSB account numbers, really.
Absolutely. For those listening, it is truly unbelievable what we're watching.
Not a hint of CGI.
Absolutely not. And not a hint of being related to the NBA is the other thing I like about this.
What is this?
You don't get a lot of intros to a podcast segment that genuinely have narrative to them.
I was going to say, it sort of has the epic, transcendent nature of like a sort of Disney, Warner Brothers, I'm thinking
Pixar.
A lion. Yeah, lion roaring. It's really anthemic. The steed, the buck, is just a, glorious animal.
I've heard people compare that segment intro to the first couple minutes of Up. Like, it's tear-inducing. You know that Pixar movie Up? It's like tear-inducing.
Yeah, I mean, Quentin Tarantino opened up Inglourious Bastards with just some of the finest cinema, and even he said, "But I wish I did that."
Yeah,
but I wish I had the Bucks Chat intro on my CV. So.
Now, Tom, look, there hasn't been a heap of news, and look, the preseason started and what have you, but there's just some quick, for people that aren't paying attention to the Bucks, I wanted to sort of lay out what's been going on kind of in the Bucks sphere, and just I want to get your quick reactions to a couple things that I've noticed, okay? There's going to be an obscure Bucks reference in here for you, but let's start with someone that we've already talked about, and I think we should just get into it here. Saw this one. So for the people that aren't looking, it's a picture of Doc and Kyle Kuzma with huge words that say, "Pick your shots correctly." Doc Rivers is challenging Kyle Kuzma to raise his game. I know if you continue reading this, it says that Doc basically says that Kyle Kuzma was on a terrible losing team for 5 seasons, so he's got bad habits, and he needs to actually pick good shots. You were mentioning this yourself, Tommy, not 10 minutes ago.
My only comment, mate, is I wish he said, "Pick your shot correctly." I don't know why it's in the plural. Because there is no way on God's green earth that we should have Kyle Kuzma putting up more than a shot a game. Oh, dear.
Oh, okay. Well, that was certainly a shots fired, but I didn't have the sting sidled up, so it's not going to get a sound effect. Let's go here for another. Sorry, go ahead, mate.
He's a professional basketball player. No, sorry. Like, we're acting like he doesn't know how to just adjust his game. He's making it out like he's only known how to play basketball one way, like the Wizards were the first team he ever played on. Like, he should have got an idea after the first, like, scrummy, like the first practice after getting traded. Like, oh, no, we play through Giannis and my role is to sort of do this and do that, facilitate, just spot up threes. It's not rocket science, mate, but sorry, I had to get that off my chest. This is a Bucks podcast. Proceed.
Well, we had to. Speaking of Bucks, this is the second thing I saw. This is the middle part. It's the kind of the least important, but I just want to get your thoughts on it. Obscure Milwaukee Bucks. We're looking at here, for people that, most people will have never heard this name before.
No.
But Marjon Beauchamp is now signed with the Portland Trailblazers, and you know what? I love this for him. If he's ever going to be an NBA player, we're going to find out this season, because there's no rules here. I love that they put him in the Blazers 0 as well, Dame's number. Sure, that's going to be the final
That'll
result.
happen.
But
yeah. I don't know where they're going to put him in, like, positioning wise. I don't know what role he's going to play. Because he's not young, and this is the issue with Marjon Beauchamp. Like, the rookie year was a few years ago. The sophomore year was a few years ago. So there's not much excuse to kind of be jacking up bad threes and fumbling the ball. He has a little bit of the case of, I've never seen a basketball before, wherever I get it. Hot potatoes, as we say.
The Rudy Goberts.
Yeah, the Rudy Goberts. I'd even say sometimes the Jordan Warriors.
Obscure.
So we're going deep on that. But look, I'm happy for him. He didn't get many minutes when he was on the Knicks. And there's one thing we can say about hypotheticals, that we keep tabs on where ex-Buck players go. Mm-hmm. We don't forget, because once they're part of the family, mate, they stay there. So I do hope the best for him. I'm happy he hasn't signed in some overseas team, although I wouldn't mind a little NBL sighting. That would actually be vibes. So
there we go. All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep.
All right. And Tom, this is the final one. I think this could even be a social media breakout clip just because of who it involves. But tell me your thoughts on this. I saw this yesterday. It's not who you think, but it's not great. Again, we've gone for number 0 here, but it's a different point guard that's been added to the Milwaukee Bucks, hypothetically. Oh. Russell Westbrook. They've put it as the title here. I don't know. I don't know, but I give it a tacit approval. If there's no better options, I'm here with it. But how are you feeling about Russell Westbrook? Currently remains unsigned. Milwaukee Bucks. Do you like him as a 10th man, 9th man?
I'd love to see him and Thanasis take the floor in trash minutes. That'd be fun. I think my issue with Russ is that, like, it's the wrong trajectory for us. Like, I don't think our game plan anymore should be trying to sign vet free agents on minimums. I think it should be trying to develop players, pick up younger people, and, like, develop from that angle. As much as I actually am a bit of a Westbrook fan, I think he's a great player. He added a lot of value to the Nuggets and even to the Clippers beforehand, even to the Rockets. Like, he adds value, but it's not our trajectory. It's not our direction. What are your thoughts?
I don't think he's for our team. I think that the problem with Russell Westbrook is that, like, his strength is his weakness, which is that he has a lot of confidence. You know, sometimes that's good. Like, you don't want someone who's scared of the last shot. And I'll tell you what, he's not. He's definitely not.
Absolutely not.
But yeah, my thing is, do you know where I actually think would be a great team for him? It's only because of their situation. I just don't know how this would go. Is a Rockets signing, since they've lost Fred, like someone just to give him a bit of energy. But then if the Rockets pick up Westbrook, it's KD and Westbrook again. And I just don't know how that goes.
You can't have Westbrook as your primary ball handler. Surely the league knows that by now. Mm-hmm. And Van Vliet obviously was their starting point guard and their floor general. So I don't know, man.
Tom, as I've mentioned on every podcast we've ever done, it is time for our final segment, which is, of course, Agent Cody Banks. Alrighty, this is Agent Cody Bank, where you and I, Tom, act as the agent of someone related to the NBA, and we're trying to get them the bag. Totally unrelated to the Frankie Muniz hit film Agent Cody Banks. That's totally unrelated. I probably shouldn't bring it up every episode, but just really want to say that it's separate. This is again about us being an agent. But the thing is, Tom, unlike being a regular agent, we don't know who we're about to represent. Okay, so we're going to be doing this on the fly. I have got out the GM we're going to be talking to live, available. They've got 45 seconds ready for us.
Okay.
Do you want to give me the person first? Because I feel like I always hand it over first. So let me dish and try and secure the bag for this person. Who you got for me this week?
Well, we actually were just mentioning him because he is a free agent. I don't think we've had him before, but you need to somehow convince not the Rockets that A1 Russell Westbrook should get a bag, and he doesn't want that vet min. He doesn't want that vet min. He wants actual cash. So get the bag for Westbrook, please.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for joining me, and thanks for paying attention. This is look. What I want to say is that when you think about Russell Westbrook, think about Russell the Hustle Westbrook. This is a guy who, like I've said, he's not going to be afraid of the final shot. You can dish it to him. He's not going to be afraid to make a wild defensive decision in the final seconds. He's not going to be afraid with the opponent shooting a three to tie or win the game. He's not going to be afraid to really challenge that and potentially make a heartbreaking decision that ends in a 4-point play. He's willing to challenge that defensively. He's going to make these decisions that no one else on the court's making, and I can almost guarantee that. So if you want someone who's going to muck things up, it's time for your man. It's time to rustle up the cash for Hustle Westbrook.
Got there. There was some good jokes in there. He actually deserves a home somewhere. I don't think this is his last. This is his last sort of dance, shall we say?
Definitely not. There's a team at the trade deadline this year that's not going to pick up a point guard, and they're going to go where the team that's going to roll the dice this year.
It's going to be us, and we just have to do it. So let's just get on with it. All right, I'm ready. Who am I securing that cash? Agent Cody Bank. For.
Now, this person, I'm not even entirely sure if you know, Tommy, but I think you can represent them because of who they are, okay?
I'm good. All right.
This is someone that's not in the NBA, okay? But they are related to an NBA player.
Right.
And they're, in fact, one of the only people in this person's family that doesn't play NBA. But we've seen the Thanasis effect, okay? That you can put family members on a team and get them absolutely juiced. So, Tommy, I want you to sign to some contract in the NBA. The only Antetokounmpo brother that doesn't play basketball, a Philly Antetokounmpo.
Here's what we've learned, sir, about the Antetokounmpos is that they like to stick together, and they play best when they're together. And as you said quite rightly, the Thanasis has kept Giannis head in the game, Troy Bolton style, and Philly can do that squared. So I think that we should really consider giving him a bag, get him on the bench there. And if you think Thanasis is going to keep that man in line, you wait till we get the other one in there. We're just going to keep signing them Antetokounmpos. They're going to keep having kids. I'm thinking dynasty. That's what I'm thinking. This family has deep roots in the community, deep roots in Milwaukee. They have changed the face of the Deer District. And I just think there should be one call, and that's all that you need to make. That's probably a trademark. So shout out to Gribble Law officers for legal reasons.
Absolutely. And look, great work, Tommy. And, they've affected the community in many ways. They've bought homeless shelters. They've done many, many things. That's it. So, look, I mean, the NBA preseason has started. We've seen Australia. We've had the games in Melbourne. You've been to a game. They've got the WNBA finals happening right now for people that are watching that as well. So a lot of basketball happening right now. Did you have any final things that you wanted to leave people with?
I actually wanted to issue a quick apology because I've just realized looking at my notes that I've skipped over a team when we did our shots fired. And
hold on, before you get to them, Tommy, the fact that you've forgotten them straight away
is shots fired. And this is why I've forgotten them, because we're at the Philadelphia 76ers. I can't believe I forgot them. I reckon the worst thing you can say to a 76ers fan is the process is back. So The 76ers have now re-signed Jimmy Butler. They've re-signed Ben Simmons. They've re-signed Markel Fultz. And whoop, who's out of retirement? JJ Redick, baby. So they've made the necessary cap space, which for all those players is probably about $5 and a high five. And they're going to be reprocessing that process. So I want to issue a non-apology to the 76ers fans. You guys will get roasted. Don't worry. We won't forget you. But yeah, I couldn't leave our fans wanting more.
And you know what? I wouldn't expect anything less, Tommy, than for you to disrespect the 76ers like this. To be fair, If there are any 76ers fans that do listen to this podcast religiously, you are a better person than I. I'll say that.
If you've listened this far, this deep into the podcast, and you're a 76ers fan, actually respect you. And you know what? You can come onto the pod if you want. Yeah. Like we'll do a segment with you. If you're out there, I don't care who it is, age, sort of any do not matter. Well, probably if you're over 18 now, think about it for legal reasons. But we want to hear from you.
Like the 76ers star himself, we don't even expect you to play the whole episode. If you feel like playing 20 minutes, and then you're out for the rest of the podcast, that's what we expect. So
your over and under can be actually just, it doesn't have to be a back-to-back segment. That's all I'll say. You can just do one segment. So anyway, the preseason is starting very shortly, and the NBA season is back. I am so excited for the Bucks. Mate, game 1 with the Wizards at home is just going to be huge, and we may have a treat in store for our supporters. So stay locked in.
It's a game we can't miss because we already miss Chris. And with that, I say, Finn.